Hello, and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thanks for joining us. Before we begin, just a few brief announcements. If you're enjoying the campaign, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you think you know someone who might enjoy the show, please share on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles, on Facebook at Casting Roles ILM, and access all of our links, merch store, and other information at our website, castrolls.com. Over on YouTube, you can increase visibility of our videos by liking, commenting, and sharing. Um, and uh, and on Twitch, episodes will stream here every Tuesday at 7 Eastern Standard Time, and video uploads will be available on YouTube on Friday the same week. In the coming weeks, our Twitch channel may host a few streams outlining the world or introducing you further to some of the characters. If you're interested in knowing more about the history, the gods, the social dynamics, etc., pop over to social media and send us a message, join in the threads, or comment on the post looking for questions. And with no other announcements, let's go ahead and start the show. So after navigating the murky politics and existential threats to the town of Inniswood, you made your way to the town of Northwick, south of Longfield, to fulfill the final challenge of earning your third commendation. They really need to come up with a better name, I think.
That is never not going to be funny.
Oh god.
After speaking with the local general store / bakery owner, you received details from Thomas Malley, the mayor, who described the mysterious occurrences of the last few weeks as more and more residents reported missing and stolen items. He directed you to Gideon, the drunkard husband of the general store owner, who described the harrowing attack of 4 dragon people, which you identified from his description as kobolds. Following his directions, you made your way out of town to a cave entrance. Attempting to enthrall the guards at the entrance, Wash and a wild-shaped Kaimana rode in claiming to be the new gods that they were worshipping. While one of the Kobold guards fell immediately enraptured by Wash's presence, the other saw through his charismatic display and warned the Warren of your presence. Entering in, you were faced with a small resistance from hit-and-run tactics and one particularly beefy Dragon Shield Kobold. But after putting this down, you explored the rest of the Warren to find it mostly empty, save for one lone Kobold inventor named Togs, dressed differently and wanting to be friends. He took credit for the various traps you encountered at the entrance and warned of the corruption of his tribe by a new god. He told you that the bulk of the tribe had closed themselves off in a temple led by a mysterious scaled sorcerer who summons shadows with his spells, and asked you to free his tribe from the influence of this new god so they can return to their home in the Deepwood and go back to their proper reverence of the dragon Durevo. So, ticket takers, as you approached the door described by Togs, you found an image painted crudely over it. The same symbol you saw on a banner in the training hall, a dragon's head with wings folding around it, and underneath, seemingly a man, gray-haired with violet robes. As you're all looking at this, Souris, upon
Yes.
seeing this, something within your instinctual brain begins to activate your flight or flight response as you're looking at this.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Oh, that was a good roll. 18.
And a wisdom saving throw, please.
That's not going to be as good. That's a 3.
Oh God. Okay, so you all watch as you're all kind of exploring this area. You're looking out at those little holes in the walls to just keep an eye out to see if any more kobolds are going to come out at you. And then it takes a moment, but then you look over and you realize that Souris has gone mostly catatonic. He's staring at this emblem, and you can see like the hair at his hackles are raising up. His tail is kind of standing alert, and he is staring at this very intently, and you know can't really get his attention. Souris,
Yes.
immediately looking at this, you get a flash in your head. Disjointed images, things that are kind of buried deep inside of your brain, and things that maybe were lost in the overall transformations that you've gone in, or things that you've purposely buried. But you see first like a flash from within a cage, and you're looking out and you see hundreds of other cages with other rats, small like you, 4-legged, scared, terrified, and you can hear their squeaks and hear their fear of whatever's to come and not understanding the situation they're in. And then another flash goes by as another memory pops into your head, and here you are slightly bigger. You're still four-legged. The cage is larger. The bar's stronger to withhold your newfound strength and size. The other cages are more empty. There's more of them gone. Um, Another flash, you're in a different room. There's weird machinery and arcane elements that are flashing violet colors and blue colors and green colors, and there's sigils painted on the floor. And you watch another larger rat figure drawn out of a cage and placed in the middle of a room. And in the background, a shadowy figure suddenly incanting something over him. These tubes bursting with energy, and then there's an explosion of lightning, and it strikes the figure at the center, and the runes go up in flames, and the figure is incinerated. Then there's another flash, and you yourself are being drawn into this center dais, surrounded by these flaming runes, and you can see clearer now. A man, gray-haired, velvet cloak. He's holding a book in front of him that when he lifts his arms away, it just seems to float there. And he starts to say these incantations, and you see the flash of lightning, and it strikes you, and there's searing pain. And when you wake up, you realize, like, it's you.
Yeah.
This man, this image that you're seeing on this wall is immediately reminding you of whoever it was that caused you to be made.
Yes.
All right. After a few moments, you kind of come out of your daze a little bit, and you're now surrounded by your newfound friends.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about that?
How much time passed?
Probably 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay. I'm on just like grabbing like the front of him. It's like, say something, Souris. Speak to me.
And I remind you that in the last episode, Souris was sprayed by a skunk, so he is looking and smelling his best. When I rolled a massive 7 on my dexterity saving throw for my very elitist monk.
Mm-hmm.
So I am. This is turning into a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And it's okay, brother. It's I'm here. And I pat Kimana on the head.
Are you okay? Are you all right?
Not really.
Oh.
But if he's there and I point at the image of the thing, he's mine.
Okay. That's fine. All yours, bro. All yours. You take it.
So you guys are standing here with
Ben is having some
he's
computer. Okay, so
Ben's internet is struggling a little. His stuff if we need to Jaeger him at any points.
look at it. This is so cute.
She's so cute.
I know. She has to make an appearance. She apparently just ate food because she's really excited about it. So you're kind of standing there, Souris. You're gathering your thoughts. Mar, are you kind of checking things out, or what are you up to?
Yeah, I'll go start investigating a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to
Cautiously.
investigate that room that's off to the side, or do you want to investigate this space here?
The space we're in
Okay,
currently.
go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Can I assist?
Yeah.
Or do I need to assist?
It's pretty good. You don't have
Okay,
to.
never mind.
I mean, well, let's see if it's a nat 20. It's not.
Okay.
I got a 19. So, wait, plus 24.
24.
Good
Nice.
investigation.
So you're, carefully looking at things, and you were not privy to the Togs conversation. I believe. I think you're in the other room. But even with your investigation, you do notice that the door itself has what looks like some mechanisms on the side that could potentially be trap activating. You kind of push on the door a little bit, and it is barred and locked, but there's a gap in the middle, and you can see that it's not locked like a keyhole lock. On the other side of the door, there's a very clear space where you can see that there's like a wooden plank that's resting against the back of the door. So you can probably tell that's how it's locked. In this space, there are a few of the Warren holes on the side, but there's none in the floor. It's a kind of a training hall area, and there's that entrance that goes off into the what looks like a bed chamber where you don't see any of the Warren holes. So whoever's sleeping there is going in through this entrance. So if you want to move your investigation in there, you can, or you can try to do something with this door.
Does anyone want to try to help me get this door open?
Kamai will help.
Right, and you point out the trap mechanisms as well. So
what did he say this trap was? Since he gave us one stuff.
Because there's several. So he got really excited at this point. So Togs. So the Togs told you that and with that investigation check, you would kind of have some of these elements. That there is immediately on the other side of the door, there is a pressure plate that's activated by one of the doors swinging open, the door on the right. A pressure plate, and you do glance up, and there are 5 or 6 holes in the ceiling that are smaller than those Warren holes. And Togs told you that he had figured out a way to build a fire that burns forever. And he had put it like this chemical fire in these jars, and when that pressure plate is hit, there would be 5 or 6 of these that would fall out of those holes right where you currently are standing, and you would find yourself in napalm, basically. The other one he told you to look out for is mini buzzing insects that he managed to trap in the local forest, and they're right on the other side. There's a tripwire. You can't see it, but Togs told you that one was present.
Can we take out the globes of napalm? Basically break the trap and end up with some alchemist fire in our pockets.
Let's see. So it's probably 10 feet up. You might need to find, there are some like boxes and things present. You could potentially construct, a platform area to get up that high if you wanted to try.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. Anybody helping Souris create a ramshackle thing?
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Make sure we pick only material that are flammable.
Good thinking.
Like wood chairs, casks, things like that.
So it takes you 10 minutes or so.
Oily rags.
Yeah. You guys get enough boxes, and you kind of stack them up, and you get kind of a little ramshackle, like 5 foot tall, like mix-mash of things. It's maybe a little teetery, but one of you could probably climb up there and reach into those holes and try to get the alchemist fire jugs if you wanted.
Since I'm the most dexterous, I will give it a try unless anybody has an objection.
Go for it, my friend.
All right, so go ahead.
So rat on fire.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll let's say a dexterity check to see if you can get them out without dropping or breaking any of them.
Check or save?
You're not dodging anything, so just a check. Yeah.
19.
Yeah, no problem. So there's probably from where you've built up this thing, you can reach 3 of the holes easily. And so boom, 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 you get 3 small jugs of alchemist fire.
3 jugs of alchemist fire. Get it.
I will give 1 to Mar, 1 to Abel, and let's see. Washbjord has his own fire with his dragon breath, so I will give the other one to Kamana.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's sparkly liquid, and so I am very clear to Kamana that if this spills, it will burn. It will catch him on fire.
What are you doing? Hey,
He's so upset right now.
stop it. Come here. Let me see.
So,
Come here, let me see.
so if you want to make something else shiny and with flames, throw it at it, but do not use it on yourself.
And Kaimana, you go ahead and roll a You roll an intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier to it.
Oh, that's great.
I can't-
5.
Never mind. So you're looking at it and you're like, hey, I think I've seen this is really shiny. So like,
If I have proficiency with alchemist supplies, can I try to make a check on this?
yeah, go ahead and do the same intelligence
Okay.
proficiency.
It's also not great, is the thing. What was it again? Intelligence plus proficiency?
Plus proficiency, yeah.
Okay, so that's 12, 14.
Okay, so you're looking at it and you've seen alchemist fire before. It's like one of the things they teach you how to make when they're teaching you how to use, alchemist tools and things. And this looks a little thicker than normal. So it looks like a slightly different, like he said that he had developed something that burns forever. Nothing ever does, but you know that alchemist fire does not burn forever. So this might be maybe either more effective or less effective, depending on Togs's ability.
Fortunate son intensifies.
All right. What else are we doing as we're kind of here? So you guys have built up this. Souris has come down, handed out the alchemist fire.
Did anybody check out that other room?
Somebody like to go investigate?
I'll do that.
All right, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're walking in.
Oh God.
Oh,
Okay. Goodbye. Oh, come on. That's a 7.
Evan,
oh, I want to
you walk in and it's like sensory overload. There's just so much shit in here that Kaimana's like doesn't really know where to focus. There's looks like little beds that are made that are stacked on top of places where there's other little beds that are made, and there's bed rolls everywhere, and there looks like there's a corner where they were using the restroom, and there's like just a lot of things that are happening in this space, and it's really sensory overload for Kaimana, so he can't really pick out anything.
I'm
looking around
just
the room.
spinning right around and walking back out.
And Abel
Not-
going behind him.
Sure, go ahead.
See what he may have. What is this?
No
Perception?
more nothings. Nothing's in there.
You can either roll investigation or perception.
Okay, I'm gonna do investigation because I got a +5 to that. So
I mean, I had a +6 to perception. You saw where it got me.
the luck of the dice.
Hey,
I
roll
got
a 3, so.
an 18.
18. So you walk in and you immediately you're looking around and you start just tossing stuff. You're like, well, these aren't my things. And so you're kind of going through, and at some point you get to a bedroll that when you pick it up, it feels a little heavier than the other bedrolls that you'd kind of thrown around. And you kick it open and unroll it, and clink, clink, clink. 2 jars are sitting inside about that big. There's a kind of a light reddish liquid inside.
Would I recognize any of these?
Yeah, they're health potions.
Ooh, health potions. Okay. Who's our healer?
You are.
I'm a healer?
I feel like it's Abel
Oh, that
and Kaimana.
doesn't bode well for the group people.
Who's
You
our
know
healer? Oh, it's me.
You killed Kaimana.
Why is everybody dead?
I have a cure wounds, and then I can make a one of my Eldritch cannons can be like a protector cannon. No, not yet. It's not till later, I don't think.
No, you have access to that.
Oh, okay.
Mar stabs herself and then kills things, so we know it's not her.
It can't be. It surely can't be me. I'm the only one it can't be.
Am I really the healer? Oh, look, I got to rethink my strategies now.
Well,
Okay.
Kaimana and Wash have access to healing as well. You're the only one that's done any healing so far.
Oh, okay. Well, there are
I'm better at like up than actually physically picking.
Oh, Ben.
Then
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Oh.
All right. So after Abel's investigation of that room and kind of you guys picking this space apart, you're now down to pretty much just the door as anything standing in your way. She's not happy at something. You guys have taken down the threat of the alchemist fire. There's still a couple active, but you also know that where the pressure plate is, you know which door to open to not activate it. So you feel pretty safe around that. The one thing you would need to look out for, according to Togs, is a tripwire on the other side of the door once you're coming through. but you still need
How big is the
somehow.
how big is the gap between the door?
It's probably. I mean,
Big
you-
enough. Big enough we can get a knife in there.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, it's probably like Mars rapier would fit through there. A dagger blade would fit through there.
I'll try to get the rapier.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You can choose dexterity or strength to see.
Oh,
how
it's
well you-
it's gonna be dexterity is the fun thing. Just straight dex.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 13.
13. Okay. It takes you a little bit, but you are able to kind of fulcrum it in, and you feel it lift up, and it comes out of like one side of whatever's holding it. It's still kind of wedged. It falls, and it's still kind of wedged there, but the door on the left is loose enough that you can start pushing it open.
Okay.
Are we going forward, or did we want to take a moment and rest? Make sure Souris has regained his faculties.
Yeah, let's listen to Not the Healer.
You
I'm
guys
good with that.
you guys can take a short rest really quick.
Yeah.
So
well,
one
I am-
hour that gives you a chance. You are able to do some of your things during a short rest if you want to change which Eldritch Cannon you have prepared. There are some things that other people can do during short rests, but
I get my wild shape back, don't I?
yeah. And so if you want to roll hit die, you can do that. Are you doing a Song of Rest with that, Wash?
Yeah.
So you guys get an extra D6 to add to your hit die if you're re-rolling any hit dice.
Okay. Someone walk me through hit die.
You have 2 or 3, whatever your HP die is, and so you can roll up to 3 of them, and you'll regain that number of hit points.
And do I regain spell slots or anything on a short rest?
You don't have arcane recovery, so you don't get that.
Oh, that's some bull. Okay.
Be happy you get the hit points.
Some of you got hit during the kobold fight, so
Yeah, but I rolled enough to get back after one dice to back to full health.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks in
I'm
part to
down
the Song
one.
of Rest.
I'm down 1 point now.
No.
did you
And
roll
then you
a
said
D6, Mar?
Yes, I did. I stabbed myself and then I took damage. So that was what happened. But I'm good. I'm just 1 point away from being full.
Did you roll the dice 6 from the Song of Rest?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm 1 point away from being full. I don't have 1 hit point. I would like to clarify for everyone.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. It's,
Yeah. No, we are good.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I have plus 16.
an hour passes, unless you guys want to discuss or talk about anything during your rest time.
We sit in complete silence.
I mean, we do actually.
What
Some
are
of
we
us
trying-
do.
What are we trying to do again?
we are trying to deal with the false prophet so that the kobolds
are-
can return back to their rightful religion, which means they will leave here to return to the forest, and means they will stop bothering the city, which means we can return all the stolen stuff and get our just rewards.
Right, but are we? How do we want to make that happen? I'm not so big on killing them.
We could turn them to our religion of ticket taking.
They might not leave. I'm still here.
Well, if there's this prophet who has turned them, so if we can defeat him and show that we are superior, we may be able to then say we have defeated your false god. Go back to that who you should worship. But if the kobolds, we should not kill any. We should use non-lethal.
And Togs did tell you that there are many kobolds in the Warren who have not kind of given into this new religion, and so the ones that have are very like zealotous, and they are the ones with like the velvet or it keeps saying velvet, the violet coloration or the sashes on. Any of the kobolds who are still kind of peaceful are in green.
All right, so leave the green ones. Don't mess up the green ones. How many green ones have we
Agreed.
You haven't killed any green ones.
killed? Okay.
Aside from Togs, you haven't killed any green ones. From what he told you, the Warren goes deeper into the hill, and the green ones are kind of hiding out in other parts of the Warren to kind of stay under the radar of whatever's going on in the temple.
Okay.
So those in the temple are bad, okay?
Okay.
If they're wearing purple.
Purple.
So I have I'm just like double checking my stuff here. So it looks like my little Eldritch cannon is gonna only last for an hour. So if we took an hour long rest, my other one would have powered down, and I'll have to like rebuild it or whatever.
You can do that during a short rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I have to spend a spell slot apparently because I can only do one per long rest. So I'm gonna have to spend my last spell slot to make a flamethrower Eldritch cannon.
I think you got those potions there, healer.
Nothing says
I'm glad we're doing.
Nothing says
non-lethal.
non-lethal like
Yeah.
a flamethrower.
y'all beat me to it.
It's cool. Rob, you and I all went for the same joke. We were all there.
I was gonna say
I
nothing
can-
says non-lethal healer like a flamethrower.
I mean, I can try to make a protector that will emit positive energy in a 10-foot radius and give you guys temporary hit points.
That sounds like not what you want to do.
That's
though.
that,
So
that
I
also
say follow
sounds
your
like
gut instincts.
that also sounds like Washbjord's job. So let's,
Okay, all right. I don't want to step on any toes, but Abel does like to blow things up. So
We got a weird party balance. I think we all step on each other's toes at all times.
It's only been 4 days. Give us a break.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. All right. So after your short rest, you kind of gather yourselves together, you prepare yourselves, you build a new cannon, you take account of the things that are available to you, and are you pushing forward into the Warren? All right, so who's going to be the first through the door?
Me.
All right, Souris. So you go ahead and push. You can push through, and then go ahead and roll a perception check as you come through. And then what's the order? Who's going to
16.
follow Souris?
Kaiman's next.
Kaimana.
Really high perception.
I'll go behind him.
All right. So Souris, Kaimana, Wash,
Yeah.
I'll be
Nah.
last.
Abel, and then Mar. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you come through. So you rolled a 16. Did you say, Rob?
Yes.
So immediately pushing it open, it's a dark hallway, rough hewn out of the stone beyond. About 6 foot tall ceilings here. So Wash, you might have to kind of crouch a little bit to kind of get through. It goes forward about 15 feet inward spiral ahead. You do with Togs reminding you that it was there, like that, like you know what to look out for. You see a tripwire about 6 feet in.
Can I disable it?
You can try if you'd like.
Absolutely.
You have like you've seen Abel do things like this before, but you can also try to do it as
I
well.
picked a
Hey,
lot.
Abel. You're our technician. Can you come here and disable this?
Yeah.
And don't step on the press when you come through the door.
Yeah, the
Okay,
pressure
I was
to the
thinking.
right, so you're kind of out of the way. So Abel, go ahead and roll a thieves' tools check on to disable the trap.
I think I have proficiency with yes, I have proficiency. So I roll what now?
D20, add your intelligence and your proficiency.
Okay. D20. Roll. Okay, that's a 14 plus That's a 17, 19.
Oh, okay. So you get in there and you find, the tripwire's a little bit hard to see, but once Source points it out, you get down there and you kind of follow it along, and you see where it disappears into the wall, and you kind of reach in a little bit, and with your tools, you're able to disconnect it from a hook, and you hear a click, and nothing happens, and and the tension on it breaks, and it kind of loosens. You do hear a faint, like there's like a wooden trapdoor look thing on the wall, and as you're getting close to this to undo it, you hear a faint bzzz.
Oh no.
He did say lots of stingy insects. So
Okay, I look back at we should be safe now. We can continue.
all right, so then you guys kind of march your way around, and you're going down with a 16 on your perception as you're walking through here, Source.
Yeah.
And also Togs did warn you about it, is that you get to a point where you're going down the spiral where you look up, and there are every kind of 5 feet or so, there's these like what look like faint, like pulsing green slimes like in the ceiling.
Mhm.
And Togs just said like you don't want to stand underneath them. So
So I don't.
yeah, so you weave your way through this, and you're able to, and everyone else is able to follow through, and you guys avoid these slimes that he said would just kind of drop down and get you all. And it keeps spiraling down, and it gets into like a tighter corkscrew, and you feel like you've maybe gone down 30 or 40 feet underground from where you were before. And then you get to a point where everything in the Warren has been dark. There's been no torchlight or anything like that. But you get to a point where it comes around a corner, and there's the faint bleed of torchlight coming from a chamber. And from within the chamber, you hear this kind of this. Who speaks Draconic? Just aside from Wash, anybody else?
Uh,
I don't think so.
Nope.
nope.
Okay,
Nope.
so all of you just kind of hear this, like these sounds or whatever. But Wash, you hear like, we bring this this sacrifice to the new god. He will bring us the blessings of new bodies and new strengths. And so you you guys hear this echoing through the chamber, and so you haven't gotten close enough to see around. But unless you want to go ahead and kind of peek your head into the chamber.
Yeah, I'll stealth up.
All right, go ahead and
I
roll.
want to say to him, I want to say to the rear, like, watch out, guys. They have a pretty sick ritual song. I mean, it is off the charts.
Is that bad? Is that good?
That's usually a good thing because, like, you fight better to good rhythm, you know? It's just like boom, boom, boom.
So good for them.
This makes sense.
So bad for us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In case you were unclear on this whole good bad thing, 22.
Okay, 22. So you feel pretty stealthy as you kind of creep up. Do you kind of have everybody hold back, or do you want them to
Yeah.
continue? Okay. So
No,
Source,
I'll
you get up, Source, and I'm going to give you a visual of what you see.
Ooh.
All right, so Source, I'll explain as you kind of are looking at it, but you're coming in and you're on this side over here in this little kind of chamber that's shooting off. The things that look like bushes are actually like these wooden like beams that are here.
Yep.
And so I didn't have more of the wooden beams, but what you see as you're looking into the room is it's a ramshackle. It looks like a freshly built temple of some kind, and it takes up this whole chamber. The chamber is at least 40 feet tall with these large, stone cut. It looks maybe like a natural chamber that maybe they've widened a little bit. There are some stalactites on the ceiling and things, and they've built this large temple inside, and you can see that they've put these arched wooden bracers that are made from hundreds of logs or small branches that are just kind of pieced together, and they arch up around to the top, and they're covered with these velvet. Oh my god, the word velvet, violet flowers.
Why do you keep doing
I
that?
don't know why velvet is just in my head.
He's really reaching for that Velvet Underground pun.
Oh god.
Oh.
At the center of the chamber, you see on a raised dais an altar, and there on the altar is a a kobold who's bound and wearing green.
Mm-hmm.
On the altar, laying there.
Oh,
He's
no.
struggling, but he's bound. And next to him are two robed figures, both kobold size, although one appears to be larger than the other. They're wearing violet robes, very similar to the ones that were in the drawing. There's no humans here, but these kobolds are there. The larger one has a skull on his head of some kind of horned animal, maybe an ibex or a goat of some kind, and then it looks to have attached bony protrusions on his back that appear to be the wings of maybe a large bat. So he's got this kind of boned helm and these boned wings, and he's the one kind of Temple of Doom Kali style, praying like over this kobold who's bound to the thing and saying these rituals. Next to him is another figure, also in velvet robes, slightly smaller than him, but without all the ceremonial garb. And then there are two of those kind of bruisers that you saw before, but they're wearing much more ceremonial-looking armor and have nicer shields. And then there's just 4 or 5 other kobolds in the area that are just kind of enraptured by what's going on.
How far away am I from the altar and the horned guy?
You think maybe about 70 feet.
Okay. Well, let's get the show on the road, shall we?
All right.
A bit about people being tortured. So, I am going to Step of the Wind.
Oh, okay. All right.
And with my 45 movement, that gives me 70.
Okay.
Excuse me, 45. That gives me 90.
It gives
So
you 90.
I'm gonna book it right up onto the altar between, and basically just run up, jump on top of the altar, and I am going to unload my pistol at the big bad.
The big bad.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So loud explosion coming in. So you
Right.
guys will have seen Souris go, stay back, and then he kind of darts out of this, and then you hear a loud explosion. So
Okay.
you should probably take that as your cue to come running in.
All right. So
This is the moment in movies where they're like, "What's the signal?" Like, you'll know the signal when you.
all right.
I feel
So-
like we turn to each other and we're like, wait, what's the signal? We hear an explosion. We're like, oh, that's okay. We gotta go.
I mean, this is also the moment in the theater where we go, we didn't rehearse this. Not say that the gunshot is the cue to come on stage from the stage right. I did not agree to the. Did he just run out there? Did he just run out there?
So this will be I did roll perception for them charging in. They're so distracted by what this guy's doing that nobody saw you stealthily charging into this scene.
Oh my God.
So it is a surprise round. You do get advantage on the strike. So go ahead and roll with advantage.
Rat with a gap, man.
Rat with the gap.
Everybody has a plan until they get a bullet to the face.
That would be where is it? +4. Right, no proficiency. So that will be an 18.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. That will be 9.
9 points of damage. Nice. So you guys just watch Souris disappear into the room, and you're like, what in the world? And then a moment later, you hear a reverberating explosion as the pistol, which you've heard go off once before, is fired, and the whole room reverberates with it, and like small pebbles and things are falling from the ceiling from kind of loose rocks. And this creature that was very enraptured and holding a ceremonial dagger over this bound kobold gets blasted to the side. very, very solid hit. So I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative, and that'll count as a surprise round. All right, Abel.
I rolled a 4 plus 1, a 5.
Why is your initiative always so terrible?
I don't know.
All right, Kaimana.
8.
8. Oh my God. Okay. Mar.
17.
There you go.
Souris.
Redemption?
7.
Oh no. I was like, with one person charging in, gosh, I hope they have really high initiative. Wash.
23.
There you go.
Yeah, that's our bard.
What was it?
23.
23.
All right, let me sort this.
Bullet backed up by some bongos.
well, you know, Washbjorn did say about having a good beat and starting off with some high-end percussion, so...
There we go.
It's like a coalition of the willing. It's like America and Poland.
All right. So that does mean that Wash, you are up first.
Okay, so I want to run up to the first one on the left.
This one here.
Uh-huh.
Your movement speed's 30.
Yep.
All right, you can get to there.
All right, and I'm going to slap my bongos and do Thunder Wave.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
What's the range on that? Is it 30 feet or 60 feet cube?
They're like radiating south from you.
15-foot cone.
Yeah.
Thunderwave's not a cone.
It's a cube.
What's size cube?
15 foot.
15-foot cube. So from you, if you want to get there, Wash.
Yeah.
You can get both of those guys with it.
Get him.
And Thunderwave is it a save for them?
Yes, it'll be a Constitution save
It's
of
Constitution saving throw. They don't make it.
14.
They rolled a 5. So you get they take full damage from that. So go ahead and roll your 2d8 thunder damage.
Healthy. Three.
They take 3.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. So you kind of
You rolled a 2 and a 1?
Lord, you get out there and you bang your bongo, and this blast of energy goes out from you. The sound can be heard from 300 feet away. So in this small chamber, you start to see here a stalactite falls and crumbles there, and another one over here, and there's some rocks that are tumbling off the side of the wall. You've maybe messed with the structural integrity of the room. And you blast into both of these, and
10 feet.
They get knocked 10 feet away from you. So they're in there. They're not. Are they knocked prone, or do they just get blasted back? No. Okay. So they're pushed back 10 feet away from you, and both of them look incredibly hurt by this, but they're not down from there.
We hurt their feelings.
Yeah. Anything else you want to do there on your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, which takes us to Mar.
I can't even see where I am on this map, so I'm pretty far back, yeah?
Well,
Okay.
I had you all kind of grouped here, so you're
Okay, cool.
you got about 5 feet to get into the room, and then
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. Well, how close can I get to the one that's furthest down on the map? That just got pushed back by Thunderwave.
This one here or this one?
Yeah. I can't get a melee range with anyone, probably,
No,
right?
5, 10, 15,
Cool.
20, 30. Yeah, you could get it to crossbow range.
Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. Can I use my bonus action to activate my Crimson Right on my rapier still?
Yeah, we've done that.
Okay. Then I will do that. Not take the damage for that, which is 1. And then I will use my crossbow to fire at that dude.
With your range on your crossbow, that's 60 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can hit either, or probably this Dragon Shield, like the big beefy guy,
Mm-hmm.
either of the sorcerers up there, or you can hit.
Oh, can I scratch the Crimson Right? I want to do Blood Curse of the Marked.
Oh, sweet.
And then do it on, I guess, the guy holding the ceremonial dagger.
Okay.
Yeah. So my eyes go like blood red, and then his eyes go blood red, and then I fire my crossbow at him.
So his creature has disadvantage on Constitution saving throw. Oh wait, no, that might be the wrong one.
It's marked, which just it gives me extra damage against him.
Yes, good.
And I'm not gonna amplify it because that's
Okay, cool.
dumb.
So go ahead and roll.
Actually, I will amplify it, and I'll just give myself advantage, and I'll take more damage. That's another 2 points of damage for me. So
Okay, and you're going for the big guy. So go ahead and
yeah.
roll your attack on him.
Okay, and I just gave myself advantage, so that's you. Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that is.
So our plan of taking out the big bad guy to cow the other ones is proceeding actually according to plan.
Okay, so remind me, do you want me to double the dice? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll normal damage and then just double it.
Okay, cool. 6, 12, plus 5, 17.
17, nice. You're taking a total of 26 damage.
Does Grace's bonus damage double, or is it just the die damage
Oh,
and then?
I didn't even roll my Hemocraft damage.
Yeah, it's a
Which
die.
I would have. Oh gosh, so I already. Okay. Yeah, because I get that damage too, right? Am I crazy?
If you do the Blood Curse of the Marked on him, yeah.
Yeah, which I did.
I
Okay.
think for that to work, you would have had. We would
Do I have to do Crimson Right to make that work?
Yeah, the way the
Okay.
mark is the right damage on him.
Okay, cool. Then I don't. Then that's all the damage I do on him.
Okay, so
That's my
good,
turn.
but still, that's a.
I
three.
gave myself a crit. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this turn. Okay.
So R charges out and pulls out her crossbow and fires, and almost right where the bullet wound is, like a crossbow bolt slams into him and like digs deeper in, and he definitely is looking hurt from both of those attacks. Very good. However, it does take us to his turn. And so, and the other skilled sorcerer that's there, he's further enough away from you, Souris, so he's actually going to move down and kind of get out of your range a little bit.
He's welcome to try.
And so he kind of is looking across to see who he views as the larger threat. And right now, that's probably going to be you, Mar, just because that attack was pretty powerful for him. And so you see him kind of mumble a few words in an arcane language, and this gem that's in his hand starts to glow, and he kind of turns it and throws it out in your direction, and he is going to cast Dramatic Orb on you. Oh God, I just lost my die. I'm in the frame now. So that was a
Thank you, Frame.
Yep.
16 meets it. Yeah.
Okay, so you take the chromatic orb. So he blasts you, and this kind of sickly green acidic energy flies towards you, and you take 8 points of acid damage.
Ouch.
Yeah. And
Mar says that in her voice, and it's really weird.
Owie.
then he will use the rest of his movement to 5, 10, hide behind the dragon shield that's there. And then the other sorcerer is going to turn to you, Souris, and he kind of mumbles a couple words, and you see him like lift his palm up to his hand, and then he breathes out, and a poison spray goes in your direction, and roll a dexterity saving.
Okay.
Sorry, Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. As I come back into frame after refreshing my beverage. Constitution saving throw is 5.
No.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
that was a 1 on a d12, so you take 1 point of poison damage. Now, when you got close to this this scaled sorcerer with these bones on his body, Souris, you saw that there were these weird, almost like shadows that seemed to be appearing out of nowhere and like wrapping around him. And then when he cast the spell at Mar, you saw like almost like these shadows wrapped around him and then empowered his spell as it went out. And where he was standing, a rift opens and a shadow beast pops out right there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Cog said he summoned shadows with his spells, and so you just saw this like beast pop out where he was, and it's looking around for a target, and you're actually not the closest thing to it, and its eyes fall on the other scaled sorcerer, and it's looking straight at it, really threateningly. And that ends the scaled sorcerer's turn. Mana, that brings us to you.
All right. The shield guys.
Yes,
There's 2 of them, right?
there's 2. They're right here.
Okay. I'm going to run into the room and try to hide behind that pillar, that ramshackled pillar.
This one over here.
Yeah.
You're 30 movement or 35?
35.
35, you can get right behind it.
All right. The nearest shield guy.
Guy there? Yep.
Yep. I am going to cast heat metal on his shield.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Okay, and make sure that it's. So it's a concentration. Is it concentration?
Yep. Lasts a minute.
Up to a minute, and any creature of physical contact with takes 2d8 damage when you cast the spell. So go ahead and roll 2d8 damage.
Nine.
9 points of damage. Nice. All right. And so you guys, those who are in the room, watch this like metal shield that this guy's holding, very similar to the one that I guess Abel's carrying now. Starts to glow red hot, and elements of his skin are singeing and burning. So very nice, Kana. Anything else you want to do with your turn there?
I just have a bonus action left.
Yeah.
No, that would be an attack. And I already cast something, so no, I'm done.
All right. Which takes us to Souris.
I am going to leap off of the altar, and I am going to land on Sorcerer on the outside of Sorcerer number 2. So he is between me and the new shadow creature.
Okay. Do you want to be 5 feet away from the dragon shield, or do you want to be 5 feet closer to the dragon shield?
I want to be close to the shadow sorcerer.
The one.
No, the second one.
Okay. So you can get there. Yeah, and he's about 3 or 4 feet above you on the ground, but you can still reach him.
Good, because what I want to do is try and kick him towards the shadow creature.
All right.
So I'm gonna hit him a couple of times and kick him in that direction. So hopefully the thing will rend him when it's its turn.
So do you want to? Yes. Go ahead and roll an attack against him.
16.
That hits. And so, do you want to use it to cause damage or just to push him?
Well, I've got 2 attacks. I've got attack and then bonus attack.
So
So first one would be damage, and that would be a massive 8.
Okay, 8 points of damage. All right, and then go ahead and roll your second kick to try to shove him further.
12.
12 does not hit. So you kick out and you kind of you break against him. He jumps to the side a little bit, and when you kick out to the other side, he's still in the motion of dodging away, and the kick kind of goes wide from him. Does not make contact. Anything else you want to do with your turn there, Souris?
That's it I can do. So
Okay.
I'll yell at the shadow creature to try and get its attention on the thing that's in between him and me.
Good, because that might be good because the shadow creature might have also noticed the kobold who's on the altar. So so you yell out. Good. Abel, that takes us to your turn.
Okay. I have 30 feet of movement. Can I? Let me pull up the thing. Can I get in as close as I can to the altar?
You can get to about there.
Okay. I'm gonna be able to do the one of the things that I want to do, not both of them. The guy that is to the left of Souris.
The dragon shield here. Okay.
Yeah, he has a shield.
Yeah, he has a shield. It's
Okay.
currently glowing red hot with the heat shields.
Oh, I didn't know if he would have dropped it or.
He can on his turn. It hasn't been his turn.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna see if I can hit him with my firebolt cantrip.
Okay,
So-
go ahead and roll an attack against him.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my little spark tongs and I'm gonna spark them together and cast the firebolt. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit. So he
God darn it.
kind of, as he's like kind of wailing or kind of moving around with this hot shield attached to his arm, he lifts it up at just the right moment, and your firebolt clangs against the shield, and he kind of blocks it out of the way. Anything else you want to do there with your turn, Abel?
Okay, who all is in 15 feet? Like a 15 feet.
Me.
Kaimana, Mar.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'll end things there.
Okay. Now, let me see, you're here 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so it would have been just Mar and Kaimana. Okay, so that you'll end there.
Yep.
All right, which takes us to the dragon shields. So this one here is going to drop his shield. So that takes him a moment to kind of chuck it to the side and undo it. And then he's going to pull out his spear and clutch it with 2 hands. And he's going to move to kind of block your escape, Souris. But he had to use...
Like I'm gonna try and escape.
I know, but he had to use his action to physically untie his shield from his arm and drop it. So he doesn't get to take an attack from you, but he's now kind of guarding your escape. The other dragon shield is going to kind of move this direction, and they only can move 20, and he's moving to kind of intercept as well. Slow little dragon shields. They should wear less armor. And then the kobolds go up after him, and these two are going to dive into holes that are in the ground and disappear.
Oh, damn. I knew I should have went for those kobolds.
And then these two are going to dive into another set of holes over here and disappear. And that'll be their turn. All right. Wash brings us back up to you.
I want to use Vicious Mockery on the Shadow.
On the shadow, okay?
Yeah.
And it's a wisdom.
14 wisdom.
I'm sure he has really fantastic wisdom since he's a shadow creature. Oh yeah, totally fantastic.
That does not sound good.
No, 9. So he fails. So he has disadvantage on his next attack, and he takes some
1d4 psychic damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage on that.
That's a 2.
2. So you kind of, how do you viciously mock this shadow, Wash?
I eat what's left of my warm bond from North, and it's gonna be so delicious. I'm gonna be like, I bet you wish you could eat, don't you? Mm.
All right. So he takes two points of damage. Does not seem phased by your attack, but he does have disadvantage on the next move. And you see him kind of just float over to this guy. Was not interested in the kobold on the altar, who kind of played dead the moment he saw him. So he goes straight for the scaled sorcerer there, and he makes 2 attacks against him. First one hits, second one hits, and so, oh my! Why I roll so great when I'm attacking enemies? There you go. So you guys watch this.
Want to kill us?
He well, no, but like that was a really great roll. So you see him kind of smack out with one, and as he kind of goes, like his arm kind of extends, and then there's these like it's almost like the hands extend out into the fingers almost look like blades, and they slash across the scaled sorcerer, and you can see these gashes open on the front of its chest. And then with its second punch, its punch hits the chest of the scaled sorcerer and almost looks like it goes through the sorcerer, like it kind of like ethereally into him. But you can see the sorcerer take like the full brunt of the hit, and the sorcerer is very, very hurt from that. So he is, so it looks like, I mean, he's at death's door now. Like those 2 hits almost seem like they drained energy from him. You can see like the skin on his arms tighten around his muscles, like almost like there's something being sucked from inside of him at the hit from this shadow creature. At that, from up above, in these alcoves, you see something flying out, and from this direction is going to fly over here, and having you being the one who dropped the thunder wave wash, he's going to fly on top of you here and drop a stone. 17 hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Yeah, 2 points of bludgeoning damage as a stone falls on your head. And the other one's flying in from this direction, and as he passes over you, Abel, he's going to drop a stone as well. And then he's 5, 10, 15, 20, 23. He'll land up here. He'll kind of hover right up here, and that is 12 to hit. Abel.
It misses.
Misses, right. So you lift up your new shield, and you hear the clang of the rock hit the top as this winged kobold flies over your head. Good. And that takes us to Mar.
Okay. Where am I? Currently, I'm lost track of myself.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah, sorry. I'm in the middle right there, aren't I?
Right there. Yep.
Okay.
What are
I'm going to now Crimson Right on my rapier, still using the crossbow, get that sorcerer that just got attacked by the shadow monster and try to finish him off.
Go ahead and roll your attack on him.
Okay. 22 to hit.
Hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Well, actually, yeah, it doesn't matter what you roll, but see how painful this is.
It's not that painful. I rolled a 1, so it's a 6.
That's still, he had 2 points of hit points left. So, so you know, activate your right, and the lightning flares down your rapier, and then with your other hand, you kind of fire out with the your crossbow, and he is down.
Oh, and I take for doing the Crimson Right another point of damage.
I think you activated your Crimson Right and took damage last time.
You're right, I did. So I don't.
So we won't double do it.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Okay, but I just didn't do it until now.
All right, there you go. Do you want to move at all, Mar, or are you going to stay where you are?
Yes, I would like to move up to. Can I get flanking with Souris right now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll go there.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Good. All right. So that takes us to the sorcerer's turn. You see, he drops the ceremonial dagger, and then he pulls a staff off of his back. This is a very beautifully ornate staff. Nothing like kobolds typically don't have things that are this beautiful, and it has what looks like a dragon's head at the top. And you hear him like, and he clams it to the ground, and the head of the staff comes alive, and is now kind of like biting out at the world around him. And he's going to move here. Here. Let me see if this makes sense for him to do. 5, 10, right, and he slams the staff,
no.
and suddenly the dragon head on the staff focuses forward, and a flame, a bursting cone of fire blasts out of the staff head and flares across. It's going to catch Souris, the dragon shield, and Mar. So I need you to roll dexterity saving throws.
24.
17.
Okay, good. You both succeed, so you take half damage, and you are not stunned by this.
I keep rolling like 18s and 3s.
Oh, that's powerful.
And sorry, I said flames. It's as you're looking at it now, it's not. It looked like it comes out looking like flame, but the moment it kind of forms into the air, it turns from this reddish color to a deep like violet this violet flame that kind of curls around, and it's almost like it doesn't burn when it hits you. It like you feel the searing in your brain and not on your skin. But you both succeeded. You take seven reduced by, you take 3 points of psychic damage. The dragon shield failed his save. He takes the full 7 points of damage, and he is stunned until the end of his next round.
Okay.
Right, and that'll end the Scaled Sorcerer's turn. Kamana.
I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my staff.
All right, it's your bonus action.
Yep. I'm gonna then move forward and bop the stunned shield guy.
You get advantage.
Non-lethally, please.
Yeah, you get advantage on the attack because he is stunned.
I'm stunned.
Let's see. That is a. Where's my quarterstaff there?
A D8.
Yeah. Well, my attack bonus.
Oh yeah.
23.
You did 23 points of damage?
No, 20 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits. Okay, so we're gonna roll damage on that. Yep.
All right, so D8
D8 plus your
plus Shillelagh, so.
Yeah. And it's your wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So just the D8 plus my wisdom modifier is 11.
11 points of damage. So you,
I don't know what else is needed.
yeah, so you crack into this guy who's I mean, he breathed in this full like fire, like purple violet fumed flame, and he's kind of rocking on his heels a little bit. And you crack him across the skull. He looks very dazed and hurt, but he's not down yet. Anything else you want to do with your turn there?
So Shillelagh.
I think it lasts for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of strength. Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah, that's if he's stunned, can I move back to my little spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't get an attack opportunity or an opportunity. All right. All right, which takes us to Chris.
I am going to go over to Big Bad Sorcerer.
Okay.
Since the guy's stunned, no attack of opportunity. Staying out of the threat range of the shadow thing. And I'm going to hit him and flurry of blows, so that gives me 3 attacks.
Okay, go ahead and roll your 3 attack.
Mhm. Oh, that's sweet. I rolled 3 dice at once because I have them. The low one was a natural 15.
Nice. So all 3 hits. So go ahead and roll your
So that range between 21 and 25 to hit on
okay.
all of those. First one does 7.
Okay.
Second one does 8, so that's 15. And last one does another 8. because I rolled a 3 and 2 4s. So that is 23 damage total.
How do you take out this skilled
Oh
sorcerer?
my god.
I just punched the shit out of him. nothing subtle about this. I probably the first hit probably is in the sore spot from where the bullet wound and crossbow bolt are to kind of get him doubled over, and then I just knee him twice to the face.
All right, so bam, bam, and he is knocked back and down and out. As he kind of goes, the staff he was carrying clatters to the ground next to him, and the head is still active on it, but it is sitting there. All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn there, Souris?
I am going to use the rest of my move to counter around the shield guy to put him between me and the shadow guy.
Okay.
So pretty much where I... Yep.
All
And
right.
then I'm going to yell again to attract the shadow's attention.
Okay, so that works to get the shadow's attention. Good. Abel, you're up.
I want to move my full movement down sort of toward near where Souris is, so I can give myself some conage. Well, hold on. Wait. Ay, caramba. This guy's stunned,
You
right?
should be able to get the stun guy and the shadow if you move to the right position on that side.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. If I can get in there and not kill anyone else.
Let's see, is it a 15-foot cone?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I might make myself up.
Let's see. You could. Let me just get into this for range. Yeah, if you got right up against this guy here, it would hit 5. It would hit him and the shadow creature.
Okay. Am I gonna hit the other kobold that's strapped to the?
No, he'll be out of your range.
Okay, good. So I'll do my bonus action first.
Okay.
And I'll do my Eldritch Cannon, the little flamethrower.
Okay.
We laughed at you earlier, but this is great.
So I like my little tiny Eldritch Cannon. I've rebuilt him now, and now he looks like a little mechanical giraffe. So you see like the little giraffe like elongate its neck, and in the crevices between the little metal bronze fixtures, you'll see like the red glowing hot flames build up, and out of his little mouth he shoots out his little cone of fire. And
All right.
the dexterity saving throw
The
for
kobold
the
automatically fails because he's stunned, so he automatically fails
Okay.
his dex saving throw, and the shadow rolled a 1, so they both.
Okay, so 13 dex. So all right, so it's 2d8 fire damage.
2d8. So go ahead and roll that fire damage.
So it's 6 fire damage.
And then, all right. So this, I don't know what sound giraffes make. I was making the sound of the elephant.
Yeah, just give it a shot. Let's see
I
what
don't
you
know.
got.
Do they sound like zebras? Like with the that was. I sound like that woman who was trying to do a Jamaican accent and failed terribly.
Not a zebra.
And so it blasts out, and some of the the violet flowers on the side kind of go up in flames a little bit. But the hit on the kobold, it takes the full brunt, and then the shadow creature doesn't seem as affected by it as you think it would.
Oh man, that's what I was kind of afraid of.
Mar, that guy's going to be yours.
Yeah, I want him.
No.
All right.
It's unpacking.
Anything else you want to do with your turn there, Abel?
I still have an action. That was my bonus action. Can I hold a cantrip as an action? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Uh,
The Eldritch Cannon is not considered a spell, and so you can hold a cantrip. Yeah.
I might as well just shoot it, right? Like, there's no need for me to hold it.
Who are you gonna shoot it at?
I think I'll try to hit. How bad off is the stun guy looking?
The stun guy is looking pretty hurt, but you will take disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay, I'm gonna try to hit
We do have whatever's been like flying around in here that might come back. So
Yeah,
maybe we're
Okay, yeah.
Are the two winged kobolds kind of diagonally behind you?
Okay, I forgot about that. Thank you.
So you want to take a shot at
Dropped
one
a
of them?
rock on your head.
You did, yeah.
You want to take a shot at one of them?
Are they still there? Yeah, I'll take a shot at one of them with my.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for attack against the winged kobold.
I will do just that. That's what I need. Oh man, it's a 9.
You and Firebolt are not lucky.
That's
So you
not
kind
my
of
spell.
Are you adding your proficiency to it?
Do I get proficiency as well?
yeah, with your spells you do.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Are you rolling on D&D Beyond because it automatically does it for you?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay.
So you kind of reach back and try to fire out at the kobolds flying in the air, and they just kind of nimbly dodge out of the way. But that ends your go there, unless you want to move away from the dragon shield.
I'll take a couple steps back.
All right, so you move out of his range. Good. All right, which takes us to the dragon shield. So he is still stunned till the end of his turn. This one is going to turn on you, Souris, here. And he clangs his shield down in front of him as kind of a bulwark, and he's going to stab out at you with his spear. That is a 15 to hit.
And that is my armor class, so yes.
4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then he's just going to stand there and kind of guard against you, so he doesn't take the opportunity attack to move away. And then this one is now no longer stunned at the end of his turn, which takes us to the kobolds.
You cannot see them.
I'll move the winged kobolds out of the way again.
Oh my god.
They pop out of their warren holes kind of behind, and they charge in. 2 are going to take attacks at you, Wash. 18 to hit. And the second one misses. You take 4 points of piercing damage as they slash out at you with their daggers. And then Abel, they get advantage on the attacks. 13 to hit.
Misses.
Misses. And then the second one rolled 2 4s on a d20, so that misses as well. And then they are going to dive back into the holes that they left.
Opportunity attack.
Wash and Abel, you both get opportunity attacks on one of the ones that are leaving your area.
Okay. I will attack him with my firebolt. How is that a disadvantage if he's too close?
Well, you can't with a spell. You can like lash out with your weapon.
Can I like bash him with my shield? I don't know if
That's an improvised weapon. You can do it and do that.
Well, I just roll a
They
d20.
have arrows
Yeah.
to swing on.
D20. There's one in each group that looks much more hurt than the other one, so you could go for that one.
I rolled a 3, so let's just go ahead and keep moving.
Okay, so they both knocked out. Wash, you want to take a hit?
I rolled a 4.
Oh my god, okay. So they dive back into their holes and they disappear, which takes us back up to the top. Wash, it's your turn.
Okay, who's, I guess from your perspective, straight to the right of me, up there in that cluster? Yeah, let me run up between Mar and Abel.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I want to give a vicious mockery to the one in front of Mar.
All right, so go. It's a wisdom saving throw. 14.
Mm-hmm.
Does that succeed?
Yeah, it's minus 14, so.
Okay, so that hits. So he just kind of shakes off the stun from the flame attack, and then your words don't kind of get into his head because he's still kind of clearing his brain, but it does not affect him. All right, anything else you want to do with your bonus action?
Inspiration to Bar.
Do what?
Bardic inspiration to Bar.
Yeah.
How do you inspire Mar?
I'm gonna be like, just do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay.
This is my last one.
So Mar, you've got a D6 you can add to an attack roll or saving throw.
Great.
All right.
And then the other, you have a note now with your little chibi self on the inside.
Yeah.
Like floating.
And so depending on how you use it, it'll have different effects for you.
Right. Cool.
All right. Wash, anything? Any other movement or anything you want to do there?
No, that's it.
Cool. So that takes us to the shade. And what's the closest? 5, 10, 15, 20? Nope, this guy's the
I
closest.
yelled at him. Remember to give
Yeah.
his attention.
He seems to be attracted to just whatever life force that is like
Okay.
closest to him. So he
Good. He can
I'm gonna hit him
please
with
kill
fire.
that thing, and
Yeah,
then
he
Mark
floats
can kill him.
down. He floats down to the scale to the dragon shield there, and you see him take 2 attacks. The first one with the kind of the elongated claws, and then the other one punching out into the dragon shield's back. Natural 20. Jesus.
Oh God,
On the first.
not his day.
Thankfully, thankfully for the dragon shield, not a natural 20 on the second hit, because that would have been much worse. So he takes 12 points of damage from the first hit and 7 from the second. That's it. So, so Mar, right in front of you, kind of facing off with this dragon shield. You see, like the claws slash back, and the second hit, when it hits his back, it's almost like the shadows kind of pour through his whole body, and you can see him like come out of his mouth and his ears. And when the shadows retreat, all of this kobold's life energy seems to be sucked out, and he's just a husk left behind, and he crumples to the ground in dust.
Oh.
And now,
Kill that thing.
now it is off to you, Mar. Next up, we have the winged kobolds. This one's going to dive down and hit at you, Mar, and this one's going to dive down and hit here as well. And they're going to take 2 stabs. They get advantage. A 3 to 11. That's a 12. Does not hit.
No.
And then the second one, 18.
Yes.
All right, so that's 3 points of piercing damage from the second one. They are going to try to get away from you, so if you want to take an attack of opportunity against one.
Would love to. 13?
That hits.
Okay. 8 points of damage.
Okay, he's gone. So one kind of reaches down and grabs a rock and then takes off, and the other one goes to reach for the rock, and you just kind of uppercut him with your rapier, and he splits. His wings kind of separate from his back, and he crumbles to the ground. But the other one does manage to fly away. He doesn't get as far, so he's kind of over here now. All right, that takes us to Mark.
Great.
So
I was worried about how I'd get to the Shadow Beast.
the
but-
only threats that you see, you've got the Shadow Beast there, the Dragon Shield, and then there's a winged kobold still in the area, and then there's the 4 kobolds that you cannot see.
Oh, I'm going for the beast. Cool. So I have my Crimson right up. So I'll do my first attack with the lightning rapier.
Okay, roll.
On Marlowe.
19 to hit.
That
Yeah.
does hit.
Okay, so
Oh.
5 plus.
And tell me how much of it's lightning damage too.
Okay, we'll do. So it's 10 regular damage and 3 lightning damage.
Okay, so whoops. All right, so your rapier kind of thankful, like it connects, and with the Crimson Right, it's considered a magical weapon, thankfully. And so it hits and pierces through to him. When the lightning bursts through him, though, you don't see that it takes as much damage from the lightning as you would expect, but it takes some. Good, but it is now. It's almost kind of like.
Oh, can I take my bonus action attack?
Yeah.
Go offhand, yeah.
'Cause it's kind of. It looks like it's barely holding on to its tether.
16 to hit?
16 just hits.
Okay. And that is d6 plus another 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Yep, that'll do it. So
Yeah.
it seems like it's trying to like hold on to its form, and then the second, although the second attack is not magic, it's not a magical attack, right?
No.
Oh no! So,
Oh, does it do it? No.
no. Let me just go back and do the math again on that.
Okay.
Oh no! So
Take my win from me.
I'm so sorry. He kind of, its form bursts for a second, but then it reforms, and it's almost like it's just kind of flickering in place. He's barely holding on to his form there.
Kamana with Shillelagh.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
coming.
come on.
Kamana.
Oh, yeah.
Snipe that kill.
Like, runs on up and just smacks it. It's
Okay,
not
go
a
ahead.
living creature, so I don't feel
Roll
bad
your
about killing
attack
it.
on him. Yep. Yeah, Kamana.
Get flanking.
Yeah.
You get pure anti-life energy from this thing as you're walking up to it. So
Flank
Good
him.
thing.
Flank him.
It's a good thing I'm a druid then.
you could get flanking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You roll with advantage.
Well, I rolled the same number twice. So that is a 16 to hit.
Just hits, and so it doesn't matter how many you roll on the hit dice, but go ahead and see how badly you take this out.
So 4 plus. I dropped it. Oh no. Oh no. God, there it is.
Lost
Okay.
die.
7.
Yeah. So your magical your staff lashes out, and the greenish bluish energy from the runes flares as it makes contact with this shadowy creature, and you hit it, and it like almost like sucks into like a black hole, and then vanishes from. And it is out. So, anything else you want to do there with your turn? Come on.
Yeah. I will cast Healing Word on Mar as a bonus action.
Okay, go ahead and D4.
Oh, sweet. That is 11 points of healing.
All right, Mar, you take 11 hit points.
Damn.
Healing there, good. Which takes us to Souris.
I'm gonna punch the guy in front of me because
Okay.
that's what I do.
Yeah, he has not been hit yet, so he's.
Oh my gosh.
We're just gonna change that. That'd be 14.
14 does not hit. He throws his shield up and blocks the first attack.
I hit him a second time.
Go ahead and roll.
That would be a 20, not natural.
It does hit, so you can go and roll your second damage there.
3 plus 4, that's 7.
7 points of damage. Good. So you, the first one clangs off the shield, and he kind of moves with the hit to block it, which opens him up for kind of a left clock across the face. Good. You want to? You're holding your position there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna yell at Washbjord. Tell the other kobolds that their false leader has died and that they should stop.
All right. So, Wash, you hear that ring out from Souris. Abel, takes us to you.
Oh,
You've
where?
got the one guy over here that's facing off against Souris, and then the winged kobold up behind you.
And then the hidden kobolds.
The other ones you cannot see. There.
Mhm. I will take a shot at that other kobold. I'm not giving up on this firebolt, you guys.
Okay. Go ahead. The flying one.
Yes,
Go ahead and roll an attack against that one.
I'm gonna do what I can do. God dang it! I rolled an 8. I rolled an 8.
Nope. So you fire off again, and it dodges out of the way deftly from the attack. Anything else you want to do?
I'm out of spell slots because I had to make an Eldritch Cannon and I had to make it a flamethrower.
What's the range? It's 15 feet.
15 feet a cone. If I upward, is it gonna like burn anybody else? That's am I the blue guy?
Yeah, you're blue right here.
Oh yeah, so turn me around
Okay.
and aim me. I'm gonna aim upward from my bonus action. I'm gonna fire my flamethrower.
I built that as a 15-foot high.
Okay, follow
So it'll get his feet if he doesn't roll the dexterity saving throw. What's the save on
Yeah.
it?
13.
He rolled a 12. So he takes damage. Go ahead and roll your damage on the
Burn.
blast.
Well, I must find it. One moment, please. Okay, 2d8 fire damage. Ooh, 13.
Okay, so frustrated by the failure of your firebolt and thinking maybe I need to repair this mechanism that's being used to cast the spell, you charge forward with your giraffe and aim it upwards, and it I don't know what sound giraffes make, and it blasts forward. This cone of fire goes up and almost like tornadoes around the kobold, and when if it goes away, he is gone. You don't see him anymore.
Yes.
Oops, I took you with it.
Oh, do I have any more movement? I kind of move closer to the guy that Souris is engaged with.
Yeah, you can get to there.
Okay. What sound a giraffe makes?
Oh. Is it a mating giraffe?
No, it's just kind of grunting. It's kind of like a cow move. No.
Good audio from the giraffe.
Perfect. All right, which takes us to the kobolds, and let's see. Yeah, they're gonna pop here and here.
Jesus.
And 2 attacks against you, Souris. Or not Souris, sorry, Abel. 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits hard, man.
One is 7 to hit. It doesn't hit, so you take
Does not.
3 points of piercing damage. They're both going to try to get away from you, so you can roll attack of opportunity. And then first one doesn't hit you, Wash. Second one is a 18.
Oh yeah, that is.
Take 4 points of piercing damage from them, and they're going to try to get away from you as well. So you guys can take an attack of opportunity against them.
I rolled a straight D20 or
Yeah, just a d20 attack.
yeah, 11.
11 doesn't hit. No, yeah, it doesn't hit. So they both get away from you, Abel. Watch what you get.
I hit a nat 20.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage. Roll your attack dice and then double the dice.
What is the attack dice for bongos?
Oh gosh.
It's like weapon 1d4
D4.
or 1d2.
I think you are proficient with bongos.
Does that?
I am.
I would think it'd be like a club because
Yeah, I
it's
would think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll do D4 on it. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm proficient with shields, do I add? If I'm like doing a shield bash.
I'm not sure. So we'll say for now no, but I'd have to look into that.
Okay.
That's 6 damage.
So you lash out, and one of the kobolds goes down. The other one manages to escape from you. But now there's 3 that are remaining. You did see that they were kind of they're popping out and attacking. Before they leave, they're taking the lay of the land. There's not a lot out here for them to see. So you don't know if they'll be making a return visit. All right, which takes us up to Wash. It's back up to you.
Okay. Like the OK symbol of swords.
Mhm.
And I want to point down at like their sorcerer on the ground and be like, "Your god is dead. This god is alive." And like I'm bloody. I'm almost dead, but yeah.
So are you trying to persuade or intimidate this kobold?
Oh, persuade.
Okay, go ahead and
Persuade.
roll a persuasion check to see if you can convince him to join your religion.
16 and 12, 28.
Ooh,
You're-
bloody dragonborn with his glistening chest.
you do
Dancing lights at appropriate angles.
get wash with your cloak. You do get advantage on 1 charisma check a day.
He rolled a 28. I don't think he
No,
I'll
needs it.
think of that.
If you want to take to see if it's a natural 20 or not, but it's up to you.
I'm gonna leave that where it is.
Okay, so we'll see you. So you call out to this dragon shield. We'll see what happens between now and then. There's several people who will go between then, but you are asking him to drop his weapon and kind of join over into the new side. All right, Mar, that takes us to you.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm gonna go hit the dragon shield. I'd like to do non-lethal damage on him.
You've got flanking, so you can roll with advantage on the attacks.
Cool.
He hasn't been hit. He's only been hit once, so he's
All right. That is an 18
that
hit.
hits. Yep.
Then I got that. That is 7, 3, 10 damage on the first one.
All right.
And then I'll do my second attack as well. Do I also get advantage on the second? Is that how
Yes.
this works?
Yeah, you're
Cool.
fine.
Another 18 to hit.
That hits.
And then that's not a D8, that's a D6. 11 on the offhand.
Okay.
21 total.
Yeah, so he's so after the rapier strikes out and you're getting his back and so you're slashing across his back and you're stabbing with your short sword. He's looking pretty hurt now.
Cool.
Good. Which takes us to Kaimana.
Do I know where the holes are that the kobolds are coming out of?
You saw there's they seem to be located around these pillars. So the
Okay.
ones that popped out at Wash were out of this area, and the ones from further popping out at Abel were at this pillar back here. And they disappeared into a hole that was in the center of the floor up here.
All right, I'm gonna go to the nearest one and hop in it.
All right. Go ahead and it's a little bit of it's a kind of a 5-foot drop in there. You don't need to roll any kind of check or whatever. You get down and it's just like the other Warren that you checked in. It kind of curves down and then curves out of sight about 5 feet ahead from you. You don't see anything. Do you want to
All right.
go in?
Yeah, I'm gonna start stalking forward with Thunder Wave at the ready.
Okay, so you pop this way, and you curve this way, and then you curve around this way, and here. When you get here, you see directly in front of you 3 huddled.
Oh,
Can Thunder Wave be cast non-lethally?
Right.
I just picture you flushing the drain and just body parts just flying out.
I already did that
And they're
once.
having a little team meeting, being like, okay, guys, we're gonna surrender. It's gonna be okay. They'll let us live.
I mean, you could
no.
always hold your action to see what type of action they take. If you want. You can hold Thunderwave.
I'll hold Thunder Wave and can I say, like, we can talk about this. We can talk about these guys.
Before you start to cast the spell, you say, hey, we want to talk about this, and then you start to mutter the spell, and like the thunderous energy is starting to build up in your hands. And it has that added threat of you about to unleash this spell. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Okay. It's my intimidation. All right. I got. There's a plus.
not a negative though.
That's a 12.
A 12. Okay, so taking that and Wash into consideration, well, they're definitely listening to you. We'll see what they do on their turn. All right, that ends Kaimana's turn. Souris, that takes us to you.
Well, Marlo just hit this guy.
Do it.
Non-lethal.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks.
First one is a 15.
That just hits. I think. Let me just double check. Yep, 15's the armor class.
I love this dice 4. That's 8 damage.
Okay, 8 points of damage. He's still standing. Doesn't look like he's close to going down yet. So if you want to take your next hit on him,
12 plus 6, 18.
that hits.
And that would be 6.
6. Okay. So you crack, and he's dazed and he's on it. It wasn't enough to take him down. So he wasn't knocked out. Maybe you pulled the punch maybe slightly too much with your non-lethal tendency that it didn't take him down entirely, but he's looking very close to getting knocked out.
We've encouraged him to follow Washfjord's advice.
Yes. And Abel. These are not. You don't see these guys here. Those are just for
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to fuck this up, guys.
The last time non-lethal, you blew one of their heads off. So
Exactly. You know what I'm gonna do? How close am I to that altar? Let me see.
let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. You can get to the altar, 30 feet.
Okay. For some reason, I just pinned Ben's face to the thing and not. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the altar, and I'm going to start letting this kobold guy here go.
Okay. He's not bound very tightly. It will take your full action to unbind him, but
Okay, that's fine. And can I talk to him and ask him, like, who were they going to sacrifice you to? Do you know what's going on?
just get me out of here. And he-
Okay, I'm out. Hold on. You must be patient. These knots are very tight.
Getting up close to him, you notice that he's wearing. You didn't see togs, but he's wearing a green vest that has some small flowers kind of etched into it. So he's
Okay.
not wearing the violet that the other ones were wearing.
You mean the
The
velvet?
velvet violet.
Yeah, he's not wearing. It's not a velvet violet vest. It's just a green vest with flowers. All right, so that's your turn, Abel, which takes us to the dragon shield. Let's see. Yep. So he is kind of stunned from both of the attacks from Souris and from Mar. He looks around. He hears what Wash is saying. He's not sure. He drops his shield and he falls to his knees and drops his spear. So he looks to be bowing out of the fight. Kaimana, these three turn and look at you, and they put up their hands and slowly start to back away. And they say, "Look, we don't want no fights." And they keep backing up and get kind of further distance from you this way. But they have their hands up. They don't look like they're being aggressive.
I will point up and say, "You all follow me."
The one in the front just kind of nods his head a little bit.
All right.
And so they're waiting on your lead. So looking around, we've got the one who has dropped his shield. Everything else looks to be down. So with where we currently are right now, we'll go ahead and end our combat level with a quick 10-minute break. And when we come back, we will see what the aftermath of this combat is and what you guys discover in this place.
All right. Thank you, 10.
Thank you, Tim.
Welcome back from the break. You guys, after fighting what looked like the cult of these new gods, managed to take out both of the sorcerers and the leader of the group, a weird shadow creature that was spawned from the casting of the spells of one of them. And then one of the dragon shields went down, but the other one seem to have surrendered, and Kaimana is now leading other kobolds out of his the Warren, and they're kind of following you all. So the space seems pretty safe and free for you. Abel, you just finished untying the one kobold, and it kind of jumps up and says, "Hey, hey!" And it's kind of looking at you a little scared, like, "You here to save or
Do
something?"
not worry. We are here to help you.
Those bad kobolds.
Yes. Why were they going to sacrifice you?
They gave themselves to some new thing, new god. Bad.
What do they call this new god?
He is Ariman.
Ariman. Do I know an Ariman in my?
Roll a religion check.
Can we do like an Arcana or no?
No.
Okay. 19.
19. So you kind of rack your brain thinking back through all of your religious studies. Ariman does not strike a bell.
Wow. Maybe they're 19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll tell him stay close. We will try to get all of this straightened out before we leave today.
Okay.
And can I like come down off the altar and I want to start ransacking some bodies, man.
Let's get the kobolds out of here first, and then you
okay, yeah, sure,
you
yeah.
can pillage the dead.
So,
My granddad, no! His mother did that.
about that time, Kaimana pops out of one of the Warren holes, and two of the kobolds pop out immediately behind you. One of them took off a different direction while you were trying to look out, but two of them did pop up, and they're kind of there, and they look out. They see the scaled sorcerer, their leader, lying dead on the ground. The other one, the dragon shield, and they're like, "Oh, this is not good." And they're just,
if you cooperate, it will all be fine.
we follow him and he'd gone, so no, we'll be here. And they kind of tighten up, and like the two of them kind of go back to back against each other and just kind of are there, like very scared, looking out at your group who have just decimated the leadership of their cult.
I very politely take away the weapons from the shield maiden who's in front of me.
And you do see, like, now it is it's hard to tell with kobolds, but this is a female. And she's not saying anything. She's kind of staring down. She glances over a couple times at the body to her left, or I guess to the right, which is the leader, and she's just kind of shaking her head, and she just lets you do it.
And I think Kaimana should check out the staff.
Yeah, the shield was really nice. It was very similar to the other one that you found that Abel's carrying. This one's
I'll leave the shield with her. I just take the weapons away.
It's a little nicer construction, but it does have that painting on the front that looks like it was newly added. That is that figure in the violet robe.
Yeah. I'll go look at the staff. Can I cast detect magic on it?
Yeah. You immediately get a magical essence from the staff. So it is giving off a pretty strong magical signal.
That's all I get. Doesn't tell me what kind or anything.
It's a little bit of abjuration and a little bit of evocation.
I will pick it up.
Okay. You had seen it activate, but when you pick it up, it's just the staff, and it's now that you're holding it, the staff itself is wooden, but has inlaid metallic elements kind of curving down it. The point is fashioned almost like the tip of a dragon's tail, and is made out of metal. And then the head of the staff is this very ornately poured metallic, looks like a, not rose gold, but like like a bronzy goldish color with a hint of kind of reddish to it, and it's this shape of a dragon's head, where with horns that kind of curve down this way, very similar to the symbol that was kind of the symbol that we've seen everywhere.
I'll keep track of this. Make sure no one loses it.
Okay. Washmar, do anything?
Can I take the sorcerer's outfit?
The sorcerer's.
Yeah.
The skeleton that he was wearing.
Yes. And if
Okay.
he's wearing like a robe.
It is. But, I mean, for you, it would be like if you took it, it might be a sash on you, but it would be because they're small creatures. They're about half your size. But you can take it.
Nah, just the skull, dude.
Okay, so you take the skull, and when you get up close, look at it. It does look like maybe like a young, a diminutive young like antelope maybe, and like the horns are kind of like curvy horns that kind of stick up. All right.
What would you call this staff, Josh?
It hasn't been identified yet, but it is a magical staff of some kind.
I can.
It's not like you wouldn't find it in like the magic item stuff.
Okay, I was looking in the inventory to try to add it, but
Yeah. So just for right now, you can put magic staff. Once you've identified it, you can.
Can I cast Identify as a ritual without any spell slots for Carmina's staff?
Yeah, as a ritual, you can. You guys want to explore the room at all and
Oh
examine?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell Carmina like when we have a moment, I will cast Identify and see what you have discovered there with the staff.
Okay.
yes, please.
So just kind of looking around the space, there's a few key places that that draw your attention. There's the altar itself, which you could explore and look at a little more closely. Behind the altar, now that you can see it, there is a hoard. There's piles and piles of what look like fine silverware and china and
We have to return.
kettles and
We
anything,
must return that.
anything metallic. It looks like there's some gold and gems mixed in.
Oh shit.
So that's all back there. So you could explore that area, and then there's with your passive perception, Kamana, and also your tendency to just pick on things that are shimmery and shiny, to the edge of the cavern, kind of behind one of those pillars, you see what looks like a refuse pile, but there's a couple like glints of metal or something that draw your attention. So those are kind of the three zones that you guys could check out.
I'll check out the trash.
Okay, so Kaimana, go ahead and roll an investigation check on the trash. You may want to check out the altar.
The altar, since I'm kind of
Right.
close to it.
I'll go ahead and roll an investigation on the altar. There's also the bodies if you want to.
Yeah, I do want to check the bodies.
All right, which one, the altar or the bodies, Abel?
I'll start with the altar.
Okay, investigation on the altar. Wash or Souris?
I want to talk to the kobolds.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Souris, are you checking anything out?
I'm keeping eye on the surrendered people, basically keeping them from getting any good ideas while everybody else is going through stuff.
All right, good. And so let's start with Kaimana. What did you get on investigation there?
I got an 11.
11. So when you get over there, you kind of paw through the trash a little bit. The thing that glinted and caught your attention, you pick it up. It is a figurine. It's looks like a like a wood carved tabaxi, very similar to the tabaxi that you encountered previously. This one, however, has a mane, so it may even be a leonin, but it's some kind of feline entity. And this was a very beautifully wooden carved piece that was painted with this metallic green cloak. It looks like it was crafted with a lot of reverence, and then has now been tossed into a trash pile.
Okay.
Also over there with 11, you do find like a couple kind of odds and ends of just like almost like looks like maybe glass shards, but they're thicker, so it's kind of maybe like a quartz like stone. It doesn't look like it's worth anything, but it is shimmery and shiny, and that's been kind of tossed over there as well. And there's it also, and like a lot of this trash looks like plant matter, flowers, things like that that have decayed, and it just looks like this was all tossed over here to the side and kind of forgotten.
I'll take the statue and the quartz.
Okay. So you've got, let's say, 5 quartz stones, maybe half inch to inch quartz stones, and they're like rosy quartz, so they've got kind of like a pinkish white hue to them. And then you've got the tabaxi. The tabaxi is about 5 inches, so it's a kind of a 5-inch statue of a tabaxi that was carved.
That's probably their old god, and they may want that back.
Yep. Abel, what was your investigation on the altar?
I go to the altar at 19.
19. Okay, so when you get up to the altar, so the first thing you notice is that it's coated in blood, dried blood and fresh blood. There's blood that has pooled down onto the ground and is kind of running across the stones. But as you're looking at it closer, you can see like it looks like they've taken that blood and used it to carve some runes. Paint some runes on top of the altar in a language you don't speak. But underneath that, you can see on this stone altarpiece that it has runes carved into it that were there before all this blood. And in the center, there's a depression, like a hole in the center, where there's something used to sit there and is no longer there.
Okay, so I'm going to.
Oh, sorry. Also, there's you didn't need this for the investigation check. There are 2 figures, like figurines, on the altar. One is, let me see the exact description. One is a dragon carved out of stone. And it has a very similar head shape to the one that's on all the banners, and also the head of that staff, with the curved horns coming down, and this very kind of evil visage on its face. It also looks like it has 3 eyes, 2 on the sides and 1 in the center of its forehead. The other figure is a chess piece. It's a king chess piece, but most chess pieces tend to be carved out of like cheap wood. This is carved out of witch wood, which
wood we got?
Roll a nature check. You're not close to it, come on. Roll a nature check, Abel, as you're looking at this chess piece.
+3 to nature. Oh, but I rolled a nat 1, so
It doesn't help.
So as you're looking at this wood piece, you actually don't recognize the wood. Like, it's not a type of wood that you've encountered in Nuevia.
Okay. So for the runes, can I pick up like a little pebble or something near me and cast my magical tinkering? And I can I duplicate the runes to where the text will show up whenever I activate my little magical tinkering thing, so we can see it.
You're familiar enough with runic languages to know that this is written in Draconic.
Draconic. I know someone who can speak Draconic.
All the kobolds.
I don't know if I can read it though.
Well, we'll make an attempt. Is there anything, the depression that's in the altar, do I see anything around the room that would fit into that depression, or
You could,
The pile of treasure that would.
yeah, if you want to change your, if you want to go now investigate the treasure to see if you can locate something that would fit into that, you can go ahead and do that if you want.
Oh, say like the little icon that Kamano has.
Maybe. I don't know that Kamana has it though, right?
No, he's come on. Have you made your way back to the group yet? Or are you still kind of at the trash pile?
Depends how much shiny shit there is in the trash pile.
After you got the quartz, it's mostly now just looks like kind of plant matter. Maybe there's a couple like green robes that were left behind over there, but aside from the tabaxi figure and the quartz pieces, that's all I got.
Okay, yeah. Then I will make my way back.
Okay, so Kamada comes back over holding this tabaxi figure. You're checking the pile. Abel, there. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Yeah. I'm gonna look for anything. Well, this is stuff from the townspeople, right? So we can't keep this stuff.
Yeah.
13 plus 5, 18.
Okay, 18. And then Wash, you're talking to the kobolds. What are you doing with them?
I want to ask him, and I'll take off my mask and I'll sit down all friendly. So why were you following a guy like this? I want to hold up the skull head that I just got. That's what skull head.
They are very taken aback by your holding the skull. They realize, of course, it's not like the skull. They just kind of like, he promised a lot of power. We were scared of living in the woods, and he promised something greater.
How did that power turn out for you?
Pretty good until today.
Exactly. But you know who lived through this?
We did.
No. The green ones. Just follow the lead of the green ones and you'll be able to live.
The green ones, and then they kind of look over at the altar and they're like, okay, the green ones. The old gods.
Yes. And spread the word. The old gods hire the ticket takers. And we are power.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
That is a 19.
Okay. There you go. You are very powerful. You took out the evil. You took out what is it? Evil? I guess the evil now. Yeah. We follow the green ones.
Thank you.
I
Spread
was
the word.
never
man.
a member of the Nazi party.
So, Mar, are you doing anything in the room?
Yeah. Hey, sorry, gang. I took a break there for a second because I had to roll initiative in the comfort of my own home against a spider that I didn't kill. And if I keep looking around fucking paranoid through the rest of the stream, that's why.
Mar has great history with spiders, so you should be okay.
Grace doesn't. Can I just kind of investigate, I guess, like the religious iconography they've got going on and see if that rings any bells for me?
Yeah, you specifically want to go kind of look at the altar area, or do
Yeah,
you
I
just-
guess the altar area for sure.
So go ahead and roll a religion check as you're looking over everything.
Can I show her what I found and like give her advantage on
Yeah,
that?
Abel's pointing all this stuff out. So you
Okay.
can-
So that was. Let's go with that first one. That is a 23.
Okay. So as you're looking around the room, it's interesting. A lot of the space looks like that there's some. The images that are painted everywhere look
Mm-hmm.
new, but there's some of these elements like this altar doesn't look like it originally was here. Like it looks like it was brought here from some other place. And the older iconography on it, like you can't read the draconic text that's there.
Right.
You recognize some of it as like this is connected in some way to worship areas that you've seen within the Deepwood. Like these are definitely very Tanatsan. Like the way that the runes are carved are carved that Tanatsa typically sometimes has like a tree that where the roots and the the boughs of the branches kind of bind together like the Celtic knot tree, and the runes are almost written in that shape. And so like these, it's very Tanatsa, but then with this bloody painted stuff over the top of it. So it's very much remnants of their old worship now covered by whatever this new worship is, which you don't recognize.
Okay.
Can I point out some Mar the dragon figurine and then the chess piece and ask her if these this iconography or these artifacts mean anything?
Yeah, and with your religion check, Mar, the dragon piece immediately catches your attention, because it's a little weird, because the way the dragon's structured looks very much like the way that Kamseen is often depicted, and Kamseen is the violet dragon, the ancient violet dragon, who's kind of the Metasansi is the god of knowledge and trickery and intellect, and
I know this one.
Kamseen was their dragon. However, Kamseen has 5 eyes, has 2 on each side and 1 in the middle. This dragon only has 1 on each side and then a 3rd eye in the middle. But the structure is very much violet dragon, but not Kamseen, but it reminds you immediately of that. The chess piece you don't recognize, but you would recognize Witchwood. Witchwood is a rare wood that comes from the deep wood, and it's typically it's very, very high value. Like it would only be used for like the richest people in Alyria would maybe use it to create like mantle pieces or some kind of big thing. To have a chess piece made out of witchwood seems like an extravagant use of something that is very rare and very, 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 very valuable. There's legends about witchwood having magical properties. As far as you know, it doesn't. But for this piece to be made from that, like this is something definitely out of the realm of ordinary.
Okay. Weird.
What is the chess figure look like?
It's a king piece. A typical dragon chess piece. And so it has a larger base and comes up almost like a tower, but then with like this ornate crown on top.
Okay, so it's not like a recognizable person.
No. Yeah, it's just a crown piece. Yeah. It's a typical dragon chess king piece, but it's made out of this incredibly extravagant material.
Okay.
I am curious if perhaps this chess piece goes to a set. Maybe if we find the person who is missing it, they will be grateful and will reward us.
Maybe.
You rolled an 18 on the treasure pile?
I don't know. Let me see.
I think it was either an 18 or a 16.
Yeah, it was an 18.
Okay. So in your investigation of the treasure pile, it takes you a little while. It takes you 10 or 15 minutes to kind of paw through it. You find hundreds of trinkets, spoons, silverware, nice plates, candelabras. Like obviously these are the things that were stolen from the town of Northwick. Within the pile, you also find 65 gold,
Ooh.
57 silver, and 87 copper pieces.
Okay,
Hello, townspeople. We found some copper pieces.
I know.
Yeah, 65,
87?
87 copper pieces, and there was, I think, 37 silver pieces. You find 3 golden gems, very small, but like 1/4 of an inch. It looks like malachite gems. And then as you're digging through it, you also discover a gem that looks a little larger than all the other ones, and it is made of red corundum. But it's interestingly shaped. It's very finely cut, but it's an interestingly shaped gem. It has 6 sides, but it's like a point sides, and then another point coming together at the base. And then when you hold it up into the light, it has kind of a starburst when you're looking through it.
Starburst.
A red corundum gem.
Okay.
Anybody investigating any of the bodies or looking through anything of theirs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through starting with the head priest and then the husk priest.
Okay.
I'm trying to find anything written.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an investigation on the head priest. The husk priest, like, he's killed by the shadow creature. There's not much of him left behind, except for just robes and things. But the other shadow priest, you can definitely check out.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, like going through the robes, it's like, okay, were there any,
Yeah.
I'm looking for scripture. Basically, I'm looking for hints as to the
The nature of this god.
bishop.
While he's doing pass out.
Investigation?
Yeah.
10.
10. So you take the robes and you're kind of going through them, and you don't find anything in the robes. They are made out of a very, very fine material. Definitely nicer than anything that any of the other kobolds are wearing. And you find not well hidden at all. There's a pouch on his side, and in the pouch is a folded up letter. When you pull it open and look at it, it is written in a language that you do not speak. But you recognize the runes that it's written in are the runes that are written everywhere around here. So it's Draconic. And
So, Washbjord, I have something I need you to translate.
All right, so Wash, you take the letter, and do you read it out loud?
And it says...
So this is what the letter says. Your new master asks a favor of you, and in return you shall be blessed with a great reward. Our efforts require a larger hoard, and you must gather this for us. Some are saying we should not trust you with this task, but I believe you will please us more than our human allies. Our representative will arrive by the end of the month carrying the same symbol. If you gather enough, we will bless you with what you have always wanted. Our tests are going well, and soon we will stop playing with rats. You will be next. A priori, Ahriman.
And I say that...
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, I say that in Josh's exact voice. Y'all are astounded at how it came out.
So the two names at the end, a priori, it's A-P-R-I-O-R-I, a priori. And then Ahriman is what the guy said we're worshiping, and A-H-R-I-M-A-N.
I almost had that spelled correctly. So since Washbjord is reading Draconic, can I show him the Draconic Runes, or did Mar already?
Mar can't read Draconic, but she recognizes the symbology and the iconography, but she can't read what they say.
Okay. Can I ask Wash to read the runes that I found on the altar?
Yep.
And I'm gonna hand him one of those healing potions, because didn't he get kind of banged up a bit?
I was about to be. I was gonna say something too.
Right.
How much do I get for the healing potion?
2d4 plus 4, I think.
Is it 2d4?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Oh. And I got 2 healing potions, right?
You found 2. Yeah.
Who else needs some healing up?
I think Wash is the only one that took a hit.
Kaimon already healed me, so I'm all right.
Okay. Well, then I'll slide that one back in the bag. I'll hold it.
All right.
Hold it for a day.
Wash, when you get up to the altar and you're looking at it, the blood-written runes are all runes that talk about rebirth and reformation, creating something new out of a tattered and broken husk. Basically, the idea of creating something greater out of something that weaker. the runes that were carved underneath are all about growth and nature and life. And it's just the repetition of kind of phrases of that are tied to the adoration of the natural world.
These guys are trying to be alchemists, y'all. They're trying to make something out of something else, but it's not good. Not at all.
I wonder if we could run into the representative that is supposed to come to pick up these items in the horde.
I would love to talk to him.
Mm-hmm. Are we towards the end of the month when that representative is supposed to show up?
It says by the end of the month. You guys are not. It's still probably 2 or 3 weeks.
So not even close.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Let's just stay here a month, live like kings.
We can always come back.
I am afraid that if we wait 2 more weeks, if they are doing more experiments, what other kind of creatures have they created in 2 or 3 weeks' time?
Right, but I don't think we have any more leads necessarily on where they're doing this. Representative might be our best bet.
When we get back to Broadfield.
David Tennant and Broadchurch.
Jody Whittaker, it's anyway. When we get back to Broadfield, we can see if anybody has heard reference of this Ahriman.
Yes.
That may give us another location to go visit.
I like that idea.
And we can get oh shoot, I'm blanking on the Trapster Kobold.
Togs.
And we may be able to talk Togs into that if anybody shows up to stall them or play along or get word to us.
Sounds like a pretty good plan.
It's a good idea.
Come on, detect magic lasts for 10 minutes or?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, when you walked back over to join the group, as Abel was digging in the pile, there would have been a ping from the pile, and probably right as the detect magic was fading, you saw him pick up that gem, and it was coming from that.
I would let him know that I'm pretty sure that it was magic.
Yeah, I forgot that you had that up. Sorry.
Is there any more that we need to investigate in this room?
I think we're about done.
We should probably try to find a way to get these items back to the townspeople. No?
We can just tell them where it is. And they can go get it themselves.
I don't know if it's a good idea to have the townspeople come into the Kobold's cave. They may
We
not
could have our
untouched.
We could have our sufficiently cowed friends here take them back and leave them just outside of town.
I like that idea. What do you all think? Eh?
That sounds like a good plan.
Sure.
Get Togs to assert authority. I'd also like to talk to Togs when we get him back to see if there were sleeping quarters for these guys that might have more information in it, more writings.
Yes.
All right. So you guys wanting to head back up towards the surface?
Yeah, we're gonna collect what we have, I guess.
Did you take the gold from the pile and leave all the trinkets behind, or did you leave the gold?
Should we keep the money?
I think we should put the gold in a pocket, and when we get back to town, basically, if somebody has lost something, if they tell us what it is, if basically say, here's everything that has come back. If you're missing something, let us know. If somebody comes forth and said, hey, I had gold taken, well, how much was it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you identify it? Then we return it. If not, then finders keepers.
With the mayor the mayor definitely said that there would be a reward for the return of any trinkets no money was mentioned, but that doesn't mean that people won't miss money that was taken. So.
But we don't mention we found money.
Yes.
We just leave it as
That's
the
it.
here's everything. Here's everything that we've brought back from playing a paladin that never lies. We have brought back everything we found. If you're missing something from this, let us know, and we may be able to track it down.
Okay. So should we have
Good.
walk
Good,
with
good.
us towards the edge of town with these items and just let them kind of drop them off and then head back to their cave? We tell the people, you know, they're going to change their ways. They should be fine in their little cave from now on.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll probably
going
end up
back to
going
the
back
wood.
forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
They won't even be a bother anymore.
Around as this conversation is going on, you do hear kind of a jingling sound coming from the entrance, and you do see Togs like carefully like covered in all of his like cages and different things. He kind of jingle. He's like looks into the room and goes, "Looks a bit safer in here now."
Oh,
No
is
skunks.
this
No,
the
no skunks. Don't set it off. No skunks.
He
Oh,
puts it
no.
back in the back. He puts it back in the cage. So took care of him. He kind of reaches back behind him and he grabs this little like horn and he blows the horn, and for a minute like nothing really happens, but then you start to hear the sounds of lots of scampering feet, and from holes all over the floor and near in like the corners of the wall you see 10, 20, 30 kobolds pouring out of the wall and crawling out of the holes, every single one of them wearing a green sash. And he says, "Friends, they freed us from the new gods." And like they all kind of turn and look at you and they're like, thank you so much. And they're like excited, and it's like so excited, and they're coming around and like grabbing your cloak and like patting you and like and kind of swarming around you. All they immediately notice that Mar is off put by their presence, and 20 of them like go directly to her,
No.
swarm around her, and like and are kind of just like, thank you so much, thank you.
My sword still has lightning on it, by the way. That
They-
lasts for a while.
Back up a little bit, but they're just like, we thought they were starting to sacrifice, they were starting to kill, and like they're just all talking at once, and they're talking about like the fear that they were in and the danger that they were in, and Togs is just kind of sitting back like smiling and happy that he sees maybe for the first time in a long while that there seems to be kind of a hope for his people since this transformation that they've kind of gone over in the last month or two.
Good. I like it when a plan comes together.
So we go back to the forest. Is there anything we can do to repay the favor before we go?
Yes, please return the items to the outside of town, so the townspeople will not come looking for you for their trinkets.
Townspeople not so much like us after everything. We can put them near the river, and you tell them where they are.
Yes.
This sounds like a fair compromise.
So he kind of looks over and kind of barks a few orders, and you see 15 or 20 of them just go over to the pile and start grabbing things, and they all start heading up out. After a couple minutes, you hear like buzzing sounds like released from up there. And Tog's like, "Oh no!" And like he runs and then like. And so a train of these kobolds are heading out, and eventually all the trinkets are gone. And Togs does come back down, and he's got a few welts on his face where he looks like he's stung.
Poor guy.
It's like, I thank you all. I will tell Derevo about the goodness that you have done.
Yes. Can we ask another favor?
Yes, anything.
Can you collect any writings that your friends with the violet cloaks had about their religion or this new god that they were following? My friend is very curious about them. We would like to investigate.
Okay. And he says, yeah, I think, yes. And so he goes and dives into one of the holes nearby, and then he pops back up and he says, "I'll be back in sometime." and then he goes back down, and he doesn't know the time. So you're sitting there waiting. So if you wanted to do your
Oh, should I just put all the items in like a little pile?
Yeah, the two items that you had that had the magical essence were the
two.
staff and the corundum gem.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the staff and the gem, and I'm just gonna take my time and cast Identify. So I put on my little glasses with all the different little crystal lenses, and I'm gonna see if I can discern exactly what's going on with these items.
I'll hand you my staff too.
Yeah.
All right. So the gem is an elemental gem, and it is corundum. And so as you're identifying it, there's almost like as your magic is interacting with the magic of the gem, it's almost as if like the interior of the gem is no longer just shining with light, that there's like flames like curling around the interior of the gem. Studying it to do your identify on it, you realize that it is the exact shape of the depression that was in the altar. But you do know based on the identification that if shattered, that this would pull an entity from the plane of fire into the material plane.
Oh, like a fire elemental?
Yeah, it's a fire elemental.
How pissed would it be when it gets here, though?
It would be under your control unless you lost
concentration,
ability to control it. Yeah. So that's that. The other item, with the staff that Kaimana hands you, because of the magic of the spell, you get the name of the staff, and it's the staff of the Dragon Priest.
Ooh.
This is the staff of the Dragon Priest, my friend Kaimana.
And you saw some of what it's able to do. The head can come alive and can breathe fire once per day. The staff itself can also attack when it's activated and alive. So
playing with the big boys now.
It's interesting doing the identification spell. You get a hint of like that, like this was newly created. This is not an old or ancient magical item. This is something that was recently gifted with its current state of being magical. It probably
Can we ask Tongs if he knows maybe what's his name?
Togs.
Oh, Togs, like dogs. But okay. Can we ask Togs if he knows where the priest got this from, who may have created it for him?
Okay. So probably around the time that you finish up your identification, Togs reappears and he is looking at it. He says, "Oh, that's bad. They come from the new god. It was a gift."
Do you know who gave the gift to the priest?
The new god, Ariman.
The new god himself bestowed this gift upon him.
Well, they say that it was him. I think it was just a messenger.
Do you know what the messenger looked like? Or where he came from?
He
The clothes he was wearing, anything that could identify this person.
He was a human. He had a black cloak. The hood was up. Could not see his face.
Okay.
Kind of like somebody we passed on the road.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I hand the staff back to Kaimana, and then I show him the little, the red gem, and I ask, "Is this important to your people?"
Yeah, that is the worship gem. We use it when we do our prayer ceremonies. It was a gift from one of Derevo's children. But I think that my people would not necessarily be unhappy if we give it as a gift for your freedom of giving us freedom.
For our freedom? This is taking a dark turn.
Sorry.
We gotta earn our freedom.
That's our freedom.
I give it back to them.
If this is important to your people, I do not want to keep it. I don't know if one of my teammates in the ticket takers would find it useful. But
It's theirs. They should keep it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful item. I mean, but it's only one use. Once shattered, the magic would disappear. So you get one use out of it. But,
We should do the right thing.
okay. So you hand it back, and he says, "Are you sure? We are very thankful, but this
If you do want to, if you want to give it to us as a gift, I do not want to be rude.
Well,
No.
you said that it was fine, so he puts it in his pocket.
Did you find any writings?
So I found these, and he kind of hands them over, and I can send you some more detail on them, like in a chat. But the general correspondence seems to be more promises from Ahriman that there would be great riches rewarded for the amount of gold and specifically there he's looking for metals, so anything that was metallic, gold, silvers, coppers, anything like that. He would honor this priest, specifically talked about the priest with some kind of blessing that he would become stronger and more powerful. The priest seems to have used that as a way to get everybody's to believe that they were also going to benefit from this, but it's specifically talking to just this one priest who had the material. A couple of the messages are not written by Ahriman, but they are still signed a priori. And one of them just says the pawn will return. The pawn is watching is on a couple of them. And so immediately, like, you hear pawn and you're like thinking king, chess piece, pawn. That immediately hits. There's no names attached to it, but it seems that is from whoever is carrying these correspondences back and forth, and it's almost like a schedule. And the latest date that you do see on it is not the end of this month, the very like the second or third day of the next month.
So we have a date when we need to be back here.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Before we go, I want to ask if they know the magic that is in the red gem, that it will summon a fire elemental to protect them if need be.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a gift, and so when we pray really hard, it lights up and is pretty, and we use it in our prayer. But it was summon a fire thing. I don't like.
Yes. I will tell them that it will summon the fire elemental, and if they're going to be in the forest, but if someone comes looking for them to collect more trinkets, what have you, if they cannot fight the person off, they should smash the gem to summon.
No, they're gonna start a forest fire. No.
They have to protect themselves.
I protect the forest. No.
Okay. Do not start the fire in the forest. But if you find yourself in a life or death situation and you cannot protect yourself, this will summon a elemental protector for you if you break it.
I don't
can't
know.
wait to get the phone call from my boss. Hey, did you hear? The whole forest burned down. It was so weird. We don't know how the kobolds summoned the fire elemental.
They should know. And you don't want them to accidentally break it.
They make traps that are built to break. They can't help themselves.
I think their whole thing is breaking things, maybe.
Did any of the traps work? Did they go off?
A lot of the traps went off, yes.
They were good? They were good traps?
The skunk went off.
Oh, sorry about that. But it's good. But no, we won't break. It's important to us, and also I don't like fire. So
okay, so just be very careful with it then.
Didn't he make the alchemist fire trap?
Yes, but it doesn't burn unless it breaks.
and what better thing to keep people away than something that he doesn't like?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Okay, so they'll be very careful. With the elemental gem.
Yes, Grace.
I'm waiting for this to break bad like 80 episodes later.
It's just like Togs is now just like wreathed in fire.
Abel was gonna keep it, but the group outvoted me, so
I'm the one who knocks.
Same All right. So Togs kind of waits, and when he doesn't hear any other questions or concerns, he just says, I check with my people, and we go back to the woods.
Sounds like a
Excellent.
good plan.
So he heads back, and he kind of bows out and thanks you all again as he heads off, and he jangles his way back out of the cavern and away. And then so you all are free to make your way out of the cavern and back up to the top side if there's nothing else you'd like to do within this space.
I think we should head back to Northwick.
Yes.
So it doesn't take too long. It's an hour or so. By this point in the day, it took you the midpoint of the day to travel here, checking around the town, traveling to the cave, exploring the cave, everything. You're looking towards evening as you approach town. There is a point where you're traveling where you get along the riverside and you just see this like string of kobolds heading off towards the deep wood, away, not with any elements, and so you think that they've kind of dropped off the trinkets and things nearby. Make your way into town, and we'll go ahead and end there today and pick up where going into Northwick and finalizing your last contract to get the writ of commendation for.
Oh, finally!
Excellent.
It was quick and painless, eh?
Yes, but I think now you probably
Oh, there was some pain involved.
Plenty.
some interesting things for Souris there that
Yeah.
knows where that'll go.
Yes.
And a cool new item for Kaimana.
Yes.
I'll send you the thing Kaimana for it so you can see. What do you
And it should be like a pretty good size for him too, right? The kobolds were not much bigger than him.
Yeah, so it's probably the same size as your quarterstaff is, Kaimana, but
It's Kamana sized.
yeah, Kaimana size. All right.
Yeah,
So
Is someone using a drill?
Ronnie, I think, is drilling or dremeling or doing something right there.
Well, he is the artificer.
All right, so thank you all for joining us today. We will see you next
Fighting
week.
off sleep.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you
All right.
all.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. This is fun.
Bye, y'all.